Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Bird Nest Farms. On this week's episode, we're going to check the kids' hives to see if they've got space. So we added a couple of deeps here last week. We want to make sure that they're filling those out and they're still looking good. So we want to check the space there. We also want to check to see if we got pest pressure. So now that it's starting to warm up over here, we need to really keep an eye out for the hive beetles and stay ahead of them. And also we want to check to make sure that we've got eggs. So make sure that none of our queens were injured or didn't emerge like they should have, stopped laying for whatever reason. So we're going to jump into those hives and check on that. Also, I wanted to mention that I started adding timestamps at the bottom of the videos or into the videos. So if you want to see a specific hive, you can fast forward to it or jump around and see the hives in whatever order that you want to. So if this video is entertaining to you, please consider giving us a like. So let's jump into those hives and see what we got. All right, guys, we are back at Alexander's hive for week 3. So we're just going to smoke them down a little bit. Excuse me. Can you go stand right there, Bob? Thank you. All right, let's see what we got here. So last week we added this super because they needed some additional room. So we just want to check real quick and see. Got plenty of space. They haven't even started building out on top here. So I'll jump into the bottom box and just make sure that we can see some eggs here. All that bird comb, you see that? All right. Give myself a little room. See how I pulled this one frame out on this side? Whenever I do that, that gives us some room to look and see. See how they're building that side out? Okay. Now we're going to jump straight in to the brood chamber. Mm-hmm. All right, so we have larvae of all different stages on this side, and the same is true on here. So as much room as there is available to them, she is utilizing it. So you can see different stages of brood in there as you again go from the center out. You can see eggs down there at the bottom. So that's exactly what we wanted to see. You've got capped brood here, and as you kind of scroll out or go from the center out, the brood gets younger and younger until you see eggs down there at the bottom. So that's what we were looking for in this hive. We wanted to make sure that we had eggs, which we just checked. We wanted to make sure that we had some room, which we do from adding the deep last week. And we're looking for pest pressure, as usual. And we don't see anything. Do you see any hive beetles anywhere?
Nope.
Neither do I.
That's good. That's a good sign.
That is a good sign. So let's put them all back together, and we'll move on to the next one. Let's move them out of the way. You want to clean that bird comb? Is that what you want?
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
My favorite part.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, guys, this is Brianna's hive. If you remember last week, we added this super here, gave them a little space. So let's jump in and check them out and see if they started building yet.
Nope. See, they have.
There's lots of bees up here, though. That's a good thing, huh?
Yep. No big one.
No burr comb, no.
This
You're
one's
right.
trying to sting.
Let's see what we got. Definitely propolised it together well. What are you seeing?
Big one.
Burr comb, that's right.
Leaf.
Okay, let me jump in here and make sure that we got it clean before you clean that, okay? Just give me 1 second. I just want to make sure I don't agitate them as much as possible.
I'll space this one out.
Okay, this is full of honey on both sides. All right, let me jump into the center here. Okay. Yeah, we gotta get some of this off because we don't want to roll the queen, right?
Nope. Hang on.
All right. So I am seeing eggs down in the very bottom. So that's what we wanted to see. Looking for eggs, space, and pests this week. So we're seeing again all kind of different stage larvae here. Try to get a good shot of it. The sun keeps going down, but you can see down there we have cat brood, then a little older brood, and down in these cells, there we go, we have eggs. Trying to get a good shot with the light. Let's see. Down in the bottom you can see various stages. So that's what we wanted to see here. So again, we're good. Do you see any pests? No. You don't like that burr comb though, do you? Okay. So let me put this one back. Okay. Let's give them a little smoke. Give them a little smoke and we'll put it all back together. We'll clean off this burr comb that's on the top.
Let's see.
Yeah. And we'll move on to the next hive.
Yeah, whose is this?
So this is at Michael's hive. Same thing at Michael's hive. Last week we added this deep here because his hive was doing really well. I do see some bees up here at the top of Michael's hive. Should go around that side.
I can't.
I know. Well, you can come stand right here. Thank you. And it looks like they're already starting to work in this one ever so slightly. Let me see. Watch out. Let me grab this one. I'll show. So we just added this last week, and you can see that they're starting to feel that out already. So it starts out kind of like this over in the corner with just a wax coating on these plastic frames. You can see that these guys have been active in here, building out that frame, building out those cells. So, really cool. So let me put this one back and we'll jump down into the brood frame. So this one's totally full. Of honey. Okay, watch it. Let me just jump in here for a second. This burr comb's crazy.
Yep.
Wow. Look at that, dude. Look at that pattern. So it looks like every time the queen, there's an opening, the bees are putting honey in the bottom of the cell. So it's another indication that there's not enough room here. So this queen is awesome, which we kind of talked about last week about not having spotty patterns. So you can see that she's utilizing every single cell that she can. Anything that's not filled with bees with capped brood is filled with honey. So these guys definitely needed more room. Okay, hang on, let me get in there.
I was trying to get his hair done separate.
Okay. Alright, so this is what we were looking for here. Got lots of, so you can see here there's lots of capped brood there. Looks like a queen cell. There's several queen cells here. Let me see if I can get a better view. Alright, so there's all your queen cells there. So there's nothing in them, they're empty. I hate to lose this queen because she's a rock star, but this is the capped brood. And on the other side of the frame, here we've got some bee bread there, and then you can see down in the bottom there's brood of all different types of stages here. So that's what we were looking for. So we can move on to the next hive. We'll put this one back, clean up the Burke home, and then we'll move on to the next hive. Okay guys, I'm going to move on now to Liam's hive. So Liam's hive, last week we checked it, and I want you to come stand around this side right here, right there where you can see. Okay, so we checked Liam's hive last week, and we really couldn't see much in the way of brood. Unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that I film, I just can't put it in the videos. We have just too much material, so I have to edit it down so that it won't be so it's more entertaining, I guess I should say. So really this week we really want to see some eggs in Liam's hive. So this top honey super is empty. This next honey super here is absolutely full. So we're going to jump past this. All right. Yeah, that's a lot of bees. All right, so we are in the first deep. We're going to go in straight to the brood chamber and see if we can find eggs. So we've got plenty of room in the first the first super there. So watch your face, baby. Okay. So we're going to jump on down, see if we can find any evidence of eggs. Not seeing any hive beetles or anything else.
I think this one needs to stay.
So I'm not seeing any eggs here. All dry cells. I do have some good sunlight at the moment, so that helps out quite a bit. As you can see, when looking into the cells there is absolutely Nothing there. They're dry cells. So let's put this one back and go a little deeper in. Okay. See that one? Remember where you're supposed to stand? Right here. There you go. Why don't you give them a little smoke? Remember what I said about being careful where to touch it at. Okay, so this is the one that we just looked at. Okay, there you go. All right, man, look at there. Look at the bottom of those cells. Tell me what you see. Look at the queen.
I said queen.
You see her? Good job, William. All right, so real quick like, there's the queen right there in the center of your screen. So, you got a laying queen, and I do see eggs in here. So let me put her back before we end up losing her.
Yeah, I see her.
She's on this side, so we're going to go super careful putting this back in.
There'll never be a queen this one if she dies.
Well, they'll raise another one if she dies, but they just got her, so we don't want them to have to go through that process all over again. All right, so that's excellent news. It's exactly what we were hoping for. A little bit of bonus, seeing the queen. So congratulations, Liam. Your hive has a queen, and she is laying. So looks like Liam's got a head start on everybody else because he already has 2 supers on right now. So let's get this put back together, and we'll jump into the next hive. All right, so let's take a look at Savanna's hive. You remember last week we checked Savanna's hive, and it was doing really well. Wasn't quite ready for another deep. You stand right here, buddy. Wasn't quite ready for another deep yet. So, okay, so remember, one of the things that we're looking for is pests. And we're seeing a lot of pressure here on the backside from ants. So you can see all of the ant larvae here on the hive tool. And of course all the ant pressure here. So we're going to have to help them out with that. Make sure that ants don't cause a problem here. So what I usually do is just kind of kill as many of the ants as I can. And then I will use some ground cinnamon on here. I just lay it on top of the telescopic lid here, and maybe down the side where the ants are entering and exiting, and that'll cause a deterrent for them. Okay, hang on one second. We're going to start on the same side. So see what I'm looking down in here? See how I see all the most of the bees on these frames right here? So that's what I'm looking for. How I know where to look for the queen. So, or where the eggs, etc. will be. So I'm just going to pull the one straight out of the middle of them.
So we have the queen.
Look at that pattern. See how it's full all the way across? That's exactly what you want to see. It's a really good queen right there. You see that?
Okay. Make the bees. What does the queen do?
She lays eggs. So this is the pattern that I'm after right here. I mean, every single cell has either capped brood or an egg in it, and that's on both sides. So here's the other side of that same frame. So there's a queen right there on top of the frame. Where did she go? There she is. Right there. Do you see the queen at the very bottom of the frame? She's kind of going up to the north, to the south. Let's see. There she is, in the middle of the frame. It's really hard to catch her for some reason. I guess it's the way that the light is. There she is. Running all over the place. So that's Savanna's queen. So let's put her back in the hive. Watch it. Watch a bit. Okay. Put her in real smooth so I don't injure her. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so second queen, man. Queen in a row. We lucky or what?
Yep.
Okay, so let me move this over nice and easy. Because I know the queen's on that frame. Okay.
He tried to sting me.
He
tried to sting me. He didn't go through.
Okay.
He stung me.
He did sting you. Yeah. That's the whole purpose of the glove, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we're seeing eggs here and a good pattern again from this queen. Wow. Let me show you. So there's the pattern we talk about. Good solid pattern. And down there at the very bottom, you should be able to see eggs in every cell all the way across. All the way to the very top right. So again, this queen is amazing. So congratulations, Savanna. We'll put this one all back together. And you have a really good hive. Really good queen here. And still got lots of room. So really only on 1, 2, 3, 4 frames here. So let's get this one back together and we'll get on to the next hive.
And Savanna's winning.
Okay, so we are at William's hive now. So William's hive last week we added this deep here. So let's just jump in, make sure we don't have any pest pressures. We should have plenty of room still. Let's see if we can find some eggs.
If you have some eggs, then I have a queen.
That's true. See how they're already starting to work on this?
It's yellow inside.
So it's white because it's brand new comb. Look at that. You see it? They're actually already putting honey in here too, William. Okay. So if you look in here, this is all the new comb that they're making, and they're already putting honey, storing honey down the bottom of these cells. So this is just since last week, so these guys have been really busy. It's the same on 4 or 5 frames. So these guys have been really busy.
Seeing the eggs?
Well, not yet. You wouldn't expect to see eggs up here. You'll see them in the middle, in the brood frame. Okay, why don't you get ready for some smoke? Okay, go ahead and hit it with some smoke in there. Okay, that's good.
I will have some eggs.
Yeah, me too. All right. Good Lord, look at that, man. Look, you see how you can see your brood from here? See it? Has cat brood in there. Okay. Why don't you give them a little bit more smoke on the top before we jump in? Okay.
I'll go around.
Okay. Dude, you have cat brood all the way on the last frame here.
See some money right there.
Yeah. So going really slow because of the cat brood. Wow. Look at that. See the cat brood all the way to the end?
Every single
And that's honey on this side here. Yeah, every single spot that's available is being used by these guys.
Every single bee is good.
Well, so far, let's see if we can find any eggs.
Every single queen.
Okay, so we're seeing some young larvae, cat brood here. It's a young larva in the bottom of these cells here, and then of course you got a lot of cat brood here. So we really want to see eggs, even though we do see some very young bees. I'd rather see some type of eggs in here. So we're going to go a step deeper. Seems like she definitely ran out of room.
Who?
The queen in this hive ran out of room.
Oh yeah, you got a queen.
So she started laying all the way on the ends, which are they don't see very often. Okay, so I see eggs in the bottom of this cell here. And all these are full as well. So let's see if I can get the bottom of all these cells are eggs and various age larvae. All the way across the frame on both sides. So this one is good as well. We'll put this one back together and we'll move on to the next one. So congratulations, William.
Got a queen.
You got a queen. Your hive's looking good. Okay, give him some smoke for me so we can put it back together. Okay, guys, we are on one of our production colonies. And I usually don't film these unless something interesting happens. So we're going through checking and we're seeing different types of brood. Lots of cap brood. Lots of young larvae. But on almost every cell is a supersedure cell. So the queen, I'm not seeing any eggs at all. There it is. Okay. So you can see that cell. There are no eggs in the colony at all that I can see. So something happened to this queen this past week where she was injured or she's no longer suitable. And the bees know that. So they've got tons of supersedure cells all over the place. So you can see here's one. This is the largest and the most complete. There's a couple of queen cups in there, but lots of supersedure cells. So I'm assuming the queen was injured last week during an inspection, or something happened the past week because you couldn't have missed these supersedure cells. They're on most frames where they had where they had eggs on them. So here's another good example. So you can see lots of supersedure cells. There's a queen cup there. That's not been closed, but there it is. But in here, lots of supersedure cells. So we'll keep an eye on this hive and make sure the next couple of weeks that we've got a queen. Anyway, I thought you'd find that interesting. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of this video. So we've accomplished everything that we set out to do this week. We checked on the bees. We made sure that they've got plenty of space. We've checked for our pest pressures. We didn't really see anything there. And also we checked to make sure that we had eggs in each of the colonies. So we got one that we need to watch. All the other ones are looking really good. So thanks again for watching this video. If you were entertained by this video, please give us a like. I'd really appreciate it, and I hope to see you on next week's episode. Thank you.